Hi everyone and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today I've sat down with one of the DAFTAS 2020 team leaders, Ashley Jonassaint. She's brought an international flavour to our film festival. She's based in New York and she's entered as an entire team. So she's cast, she produced, directed, written and starred in a film, and their spoof was titled Rocketman in Treatment. Without further ado, let's find out what was Ashley's experience of DAFTAS 2020. DAFTAS 2020.
Woo! DAFTAS!
I'm very glad that you took part this year. It was like a blessing for me because we had 3 teams at the time, and then you've joined. It was meant to be 4 teams and 1 dropped out, which reduced it to 3 teams.
Okay, so that was the one that was supposed to do the 2 popes, right?
Yes, they've dropped out.
Oh no.
We won't name them. We won't name and shame. So I'm very, very glad that you kind of put yourself forward and got the team together. And so let's start from the beginning. You found out about this project from your friend Mark, and what did you think about it?
Well, Mark kind of was like, do you remember Tamara and Joe? And I was like, briefly, because I met you at the premiere of Crossing Over.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah. And then he was like, well, she's doing a competition called the DAFTAS, and it's something that was inspired by Joe. Joe is no longer with us. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? And then he told me that he lost his battle to cancer, and it was something that I was like, automatically I have to do, because I had someone a couple years prior that lost their life to cancer. And so anytime I hear the word cancer, I'm like, what do you need? Let's do it. And so that was kind of like the first motivated thing that brought me to it. And I was like, I'll do it, I don't care. And then he was like, okay, I'll give her your number and you guys will talk it out. And then that's when you and me connected.
And when you heard what the project is about, and do you have to produce a film with literally no budget and no time whatsoever, what were your thoughts?
It was crazy because I had literally just finished drama school in the UK. So I was transitioning back to the States. We had just finished showcases. I just flew back from Atlanta. I was just getting back into my survival job and reacquainting myself with a lot of my colleagues that I had before I left for the UK. And so one of them, Selena, I was like, Selena, so a friend of mine just recruited me for this competition. What do you think? And she was like, let's do it. And so me and her both know each other from the same acting coach, Berg. And we got some friends from there, and I got some friends from drama school who were moving in and transitioning. Like, I'm gonna make New York the state that I'm gonna work at it at. And so we're like, okay, who's gonna write the script? After we chose the film, which was Rocketman, which was like, okay, I didn't see this movie. So had to watch the movie a couple times, then sat down with the team, tried to figure out a script. We had like 2 different scripts going around, and then finally chose the one that I wrote, and then went from there. And Selena really took the helm, like casting, helping me cast, and costume design. Literally everything that we wore was in her closet. Like, it was crazy. Just a few wigs we had to purchase. I got in contact with some makeup artist schools because moons ago I worked at Sephora, so I knew certain people around. Got in contact with some makeup schools, and people wanted the credit, and that was great because it's such a small budget. So it's like, and so we got everything done within a week, which was bananas.
Yeah, it is fair to say that you've obviously entered later than the rest of the teams, so you've had less time to prepare than the rest of the teams.
Right. I think I was like 2 days behind, something like that. And so, yeah, So getting the script done, getting the cast done, and getting ready for the first rehearsal, which was the Saturday, with the original cast, and getting the wardrobe done. And Adam, my sweet friend Adam, who played Bernie, he did the composition and wrote the lyrics of the 2 songs. So that was good. He did that in a couple of hours. Like, he was like, okay, I haven't watched the movie, just send me the script, I'll dabble, and this is what will happen. And it for me, that's what solidified that we were doing a short film, was listening to that song. And I was like, oh my gosh, yay, it's here. So yeah, we had fun.
So how did it feel like? Obviously, you just finished your drama school, and now you just doing the production. You are one-man band running the production team.
Well, it's so funny when you initially think that you're going to be an actor, you think you're just going to be an actor reading other people's texts and bringing their text to life. So it was like, oh my gosh, I'm a writer now, and I'm also a director, and I'm one of the executive producers. And so I think it's when you have a really great team, which I had such a great cast and support that really got everything together for us in such a short time. Selena, also our colleague Vita, Caitlin, opening her home and letting us shoot there last minute, and getting the DP Kiara Armani and Dominique to come in, and like I said, the makeup team, Jimena and Jack, just the way everybody just worked together so flawlessly, and we're so eager to do it. And I think it's also because half of us just finished coming out of drama school, and we were so eager to kind of put our skills that we learned in drama school to practice, and to teach our colleagues that didn't go to drama school some of the skills to help them better their experience in it. And you know, it's a hit or miss with acting, so you never know what's going to happen. So I think overall it gave us confidence that we know that we can create our own content if we need to. And so it was such a fun experience. It was just little miracles along the way that came into fruition, and it is what it is now.
And obviously you were very active on social media, so I felt like I was on set.
Hey, you know, like I said, I survival jobs have been in retail a good chunk of my life since I was 14. So I kind of knew a little bit about marketing, and I have a close friend who does a little bit of PR behind the scenes when she's not a broker. And so she kind of helped me figure out how to manage the social media and getting the word around and getting people to watch it when we did debut the final cut recently.
And so apart from the IMDb credits, what is your takeaway from this project?
The ability to discover the new things that we found out about each other that we could contribute to the entertainment industry. I think especially during this time, I realized that I could write. So I've been spending some time now writing, networking, meeting new people through this experience because people find out about it, and actually is going to be submitting it to a few festivals that we found that we were eligible to submit it for. They contacted us, so we're going to do that in the next couple of weeks. And
I mean, brilliant.
we had some
Congratulations.
thank you. We had some obstacles, but we were able to overcome them for sure, and that's what matters.
Speaking about obstacles, do tell us more.
I think the two major uh-ohs were the original cast was supposed to have a share, and the actress literally got a call the night before from her agent and was like, there's a big beauty brand that wants you to come in for an audition. It's not a set time, you just have to be ready. And so literally the night before we're supposed to shoot, I had to rewrite the script and take the character of Cher out and put more lines for Bernie. So that's where we see more of Adam in as Bernie, because those were parts where Cher was supposed to be. But you can't tell really. I think that was what's so cool about the script, is that we were able to change it so quickly in such a short time. Send the new updated script to everybody, make sure they know like this is what's going to happen. And the other thing was editing. We had a situation where I think a person was just so eager to impress me and I think the rest of the cast, and saw that we were really serious about what we were doing, that they overspoke their skill set. And by the time we needed the film to be ready to send for the competition, it wasn't ready. And me and another cast member had to download Final Cut Pro and try to edit it ourselves and get it into you in time. So it was a couple of all-nighters trying to figure that out. But it was a lesson learned for myself, and I think the rest of the cast. And just going forward, you really have to check who's trying to join your team. Yeah. and make sure that when they say that they're going to do something, that they have the skill set to back it up, for sure.
And so now you can do Premiere Pro as well.
I mean, it's just crazy, the list that keeps adding on to my name. I'm just shook.
That's wonderful. And so some people in your team you knew before, and some people you said came through your friends. Are you planning to continue with any of the creative projects together? Is anything happening in there?
You know, I think I would love to. I think I have two different things that I've been writing during quarantine that have a few of the actors in mind. I know that a lot of us would love to be able to work with each other again, just because the atmosphere in the space. Like I said, everybody, even the new editor that I got to do the extended version, I would love to give the opportunity to work with again. And that's what I think that's the goal. That's what we're hoping to do when we figure out when we're going to be able to shoot and come out of this quarantine. I think the goal is to definitely be able to work with each other again. And I think, especially during these times, unbeknownst to me, I had a really diverse set. And so we definitely want to keep that momentum in regards to diversity in the entertainment industry, and having our stories being told the way we want them to be told.
Yeah. And I'm sure, as you discovered, you don't even have to have big budgets to create something exciting and fun. And
oh man, you can just look in your closet and find what you can find, and whatever you couldn't, we dived in little mom and pop shops for like little bitty things like the glasses or the wings. Selena made those wings. Like, she found the feathers, she got the hangers tied together, and I mean, like, the artistry that came out of everybody unbeknownst to them during this time was just phenomenal. It was just like, okay, let me check it out.
And I also like that you brought in the international feel to this project as well. I would love to see more international teams going forward, not only from America, from around the world. So, and a lot of people commented on that as well, that we're very glad that it has the international teams entering. So well done.
I think it's just so easy when you're in New York to find a very diverse group of people. Like, my background, my family's from the Caribbean, my family's from Haiti. Selena as well, her family's from the Caribbean. Vita's Filipino. Yerman is Norwegian, Arthur's Russian, and it's just everybody, Caitlin's Jersey, and so everybody was from different backgrounds, and we were able to just flow. I think I've always been in that space where I just like to be with different people, and I think that's what helps anything grow.
Yeah. And speaking of future releases of DAFTA, what would you do differently, or what support would you like to see going forward, you know, for team leaders?
Really didn't, I mean, the budget, when I first saw like the criteria, I was like, the budget, ugh, I don't know if I could do it. But you know what? It was flawless getting it in. I think we got it even under budget. Like, I think we were like 50 pounds under budget. Yeah, like we literally went through all of our closets, picked things out. Mostly 90% was in Selena's, but you know, everything we could pick out and do ourselves, we did. The only thing we really had to come out of budget for was equipment for shoot day. So lighting, the camera, renting that for the day, and oh, actually no, we ended up not renting that for the day. The DP actually had her own and brought it. So it was kind of like just the lighting, the mics we ended up getting, and light bulbs and those type of things that you need for shoot day was what really the budget went for. And that was it. So we lucked out, really, really. When I say all hands were on deck, all hands were on deck to try to stay under budget, like phone calls or emails and text messaging, and making sure that you're always available because, like I said, mostly New York actors have side jobs when they're not acting. And so really trying to figure out the time to do things in between the little bit of time, whether you're on the subway or, you know, just walking down the pavement to wherever, having that time and really communicating with each other, being able to keep that flow of communication active all the time is really what got us through it.
And you obviously have a day job as well. How did you find managing that along with this short film project?
I tried to do, I would try to do it on the breaks that I would have, but it got to the point where it got a little too crazy for me. So I had to pull back and wait till literally after I would walk out of the office. And that was when I was picking up phone calls and text messages as I run to the subway. And then when I got home. So literally while I was at the gym, downstairs or in the flat, that I would just get things done. And so like I said, it was like 2 weeks of endless, not that much sleep.
Oh no.
But it was no, but it was so good. It was so refreshing. I think what for me, and I was talking to Selena about this the other day, what was so great about the whole experience was that we all really realized that this is our purpose in life, which is to entertain and be storytellers. And that if we didn't have our regular jobs, this is what we would be doing full time.
Yeah.
And hopefully there will be a time that we can do this full time. And that's, I think, the ultimate goal for any performer, entertainer, is to just be doing this the rest of their lives.
Yeah. And can you name the film awards that you're entering your film into? Are you allowed?
I can't. It's 2 film festivals, and we can't as of yet because we don't know if our film got selected or not.
Okay.
We did submit, and it goes through this rigorous thing where you have to keep resubmitting to through different avenues. So we won't know till towards the end of the year, and then I'll let you know for sure.
That would be exciting. I wish you'd like the best of luck, because it's like the whole effort that went into it. I obviously witnessed it, and the editing, I know how you were like, oh my God.
It was, the editing was like, oh man, I didn't realize how much editing really makes the film. I think the 3 things that I learned is, if you don't have a decent script, if you don't have music that kind of ties the story in, and if you don't have a good editor, it's really hard to complete a project. And that's one of the things that was highlighted to me through this process was, wow, because the music really, I realized how much I love music, and watching the actual film of Rocketman and then doing this was fun. It was fun. We had fun.
Excellent. And how do you like, look, I'm unveiling now, how do you like my idea for the awards trophy next year?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna be good one.
Yes, that's so awesome. Oh my gosh.
So it's just the first mock-up, and then I would need to do the negative of a mold and then cast proper molds out of it. So, but it's in a process.
That's so awesome. I mean, I even love this year's, like the whole idea with Joe's profile
Yeah.
being that was awesome. I love that. I thought that was so, it was such a way to tie in the love you have for him, and him being bind to this vision that you were able to put into fruition. I thought it was
Yeah.
beautiful.